So I go to office, I have a couple of offices, but I go only 2 days a week, 5 days a week. I work from home or I work from my phone.
Okay.
I use a lot of today's tools. I use Slack, I use Trello. So it's one thing. I think there's a different thing to run one company,
Right.
but I
Yeah.
today have 57 companies that I own some part of, and
Right.
some of them are some of them are majority ownerships, right? So there's no way that I can run them all myself. So the only thing I
Yes.
can do is to delegate,
Okay.
trust, and only kind of lead by exception. So I have reports that come in on a weekly basis. I've just tried to organize my life a little bit so that 1 or 2 days a week I do the work I need. I meet the people I need to. The rest of the time I can spend the time with my kids. It's okay. You're with your kids. It's okay. I can organize a question. So do I work? Yeah, but I'm still with my kid and I'm still working,
Right.
but it's not that bad. So I think it's my way of balance, which is
Right.
to say it's 100% work and 100% play at the same time.
Right.
It's fine.
So don't plan, first mantra. Second is have no expectations. So that's the secret of success. What about you,
That
Hema?
shows you how completely a loser I am, right?
Yeah, we know that. We
Would
know
you?
that.
How difficult was it? I think your unit is also completely different from what Shailaja or Manish
Yeah.
had. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that first 5 years? How difficult?
In terms of Goodlife?
Yes, I mean, can you manage both in terms of the money as well as the funds that you could?
Yeah. So I started in 2003.
Okay.
At the time, my kids were 6 and 4. And I started from home
Okay.
when I first started out Color the Earth. All the activities were based out of home for the first 4 years of my life. And 5 years actually. In the 5th year, I actually got a chance to do the 10,000 Women program
With eyes.
with ISB, which is a fully funded program by Goldman Sachs. And believe it or not, it was in the 5th year that I made my business plan for the first time. Up until then, I had no clue where I was going.
Okay.
I don't think I followed the business plan either. But for me, and it's not changed in the last 13 years, whether I work out of home or I don't work out of home anymore. But I am a mom first in my heart, and I can multitask very easily. So when I'm at home, I will be dealing with work, and when I'm at work, believe it or not, I will be
You're
dealing with
soaking
home.
up the chana for the dosa.
Oh yeah, I will be calling my cook and telling her the menu for dinner. I'll be checking on my kids, and I will be into whatever it is that they need to do. And actually the best part of being an entrepreneur is that you are the boss. You can be home when you want. You can be at work when you want.
But does it really
But
work?
yeah, so there is that but always. So there are times that you will want to be home and you cannot be home. And I think that's the best part of this journey is that you raise very independent kids as well in the process. They are absolutely clued in on the fact that my work deserves that time and space when I need it. And when they know that it is a little easy, they know that I will be with them. And or if it is tough times for them, it could be board exams. My kids are now almost 19 and 17.
Right.
So they've been through all the 10th, 11th and 12th grades, right? So they know that when they really need me, I have been around.
Okay.
And yeah, having your workplace close to home really helps because you don't spend too much time commuting.
Yes.
But yes, I have to travel, and they are actually a lot more independent when I'm not there than when I'm there, and
Okay.
that's the most fun part of the
So
whole
there's no
journey.
bad influence of you and your kids.
Yeah, and together, believe me, we've done the most fun things on this planet.
Okay.
And there have been times when I travel and I can take my kids to the most beautiful locations where my artisans live in very, very beautiful rural areas.
Okay.
I'm an urban girl. Throughout my life, I've lived in the urban setting. And so whenever I get a chance to go to a rural setting to be with my artisans, and whenever I can take my kids, we've had a ball.
Okay.
And in the entire process, every day somewhere we pack time. It's not the quantity of time that matters, obviously, it's about the quality. So even
Right.
while you're at home, you can still be working. They just need your presence most of the time.
Correct.
And when you're at work, and if they know that they can have you at, a call's distance
No, but
away,
isn't technology itself a sort of bane? I mean, we've had countries like France, I think they had banned emails, work emails after you sort of log out and go home. As a journalist, I've had, I'm always on WhatsApp because you're following up the, the photographs and the stories and the breaking news. And I have a 10-year-old daughter, so she keeps complaining, what is this, you're at home but you're always. So do you think technology, we should probably follow something like that, have a cutoff time? What do you think,
I'm
Shalita?
like, once I'm home, I just forget work.
Okay,
And if I'm not in my office, my phone never rings.
I see.
So people are kind of, does she work if they see me outside, if I've gone to my mother's place,
Okay.
for some function, my phone never rings. So I think people think I don't work at all.
Okay. So you do manage to cut off technology once you are at home.
Yeah. Right.
I have a different point of view. I think, it's very strange in this generation. I meet very, very qualified women and men who say that, look, my kid needs me full time, so hence I can't do what I want to do. When I look at how I grew up in a Fauji family. I was born in 65. And my dad came home in 67, 68. And then he went off to fight the 71 war. He came back 3 years later. I
Okay.
never grew up saying, oh, Dad, I missed you. You were not there for 3
Okay.
years. We're all okay. I mean, we're like weeds. You threw us in a corner, we grew. Yeah,
Right.
And I think this entire thing about, no, my kid needs me all the time is
Okay.
ridiculously overestimated. No, it's
Okay.
not. The kid doesn't need you all the time. You might need
Yeah.
the kid all the time. Right? The kids don't need you all the time. That's nonsense, right? I don't buy that. As long as you get good time and my kids also say, Dad, put that phone down. I say, look, I'm going to finish work, then I'll be
Yeah.
with you. And just like her work takes her to travel, my passion is travel. So I go around the world. I take my kids when I can, how I can. It doesn't matter. So I don't have any guilt about this. I think there's way too much guilt on, oh my God. It's okay, it's fine. You have to do what you have to do. And even for women, all I tell women is, listen, if you become this extraordinary, entrepreneur, imagine how proud your daughter is going to be of you.
Right.
She's not going to sit back and say, no, my mom gave up her entire career to be
Yeah.
with me at home. She's going to be, look how kick-ass a mom I have.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'd like to add something
Yeah.
here. I'm sure, all our kids miss us because of the hectic schedules that we have. My
I
daughter.
don't know if my kids miss me, man. They're
Okay,
very
I
happy
know,
when I'm
my
not
kids
there.
never miss me. They're
kind of,
happy to have
they
me
do
at the
miss me, but they've been very accommodating. So I think it was her 5th birthday, we had a party, and then, each kid was supposed to talk as to what she will do, and she said, I'm going to be a homemaker, I'll take care of my sister's kids also, because I could see that she
right.
obviously missed me not being there all the time with them, but that was year 2012, and I was called to be felicitated by NATA in
Okay.
America. And, they saw the function and they saw the gathering, they saw people talking about you. And, there was this channel from Asian channel,
Okay.
And when that guy put out and said, what do you think of your mom and what do you want to do? She said, I want to be a businesswoman.
Okay.
Obviously she got inspired with what she saw. So, so I think kids understand a lot, and unless they cooperate, you really can't be doing like it didn't work with me the way it worked
Yeah.
with him, that he
Right.
could
Not
always
all
spend.
kids are made the same way,
No,
absolutely.
not even that. Each business model is different, and I am no way I could have worked the way Mr. Mahesh worked.
Yes.
But I think certainly at the end of it, your family's cooperation, your children, your in-laws, all of that has to be there, without which it becomes really difficult.
I'll tell you something I once said that got me into a lot of trouble, right? I always get into trouble. So I was once actually on a flight and on a layover in Dubai, I met this Chinese girl and we just got talking because we were both waiting for the same, right?
Okay.
And it turned out that she was an area sales manager for a Chinese pharmaceutical company. I said, what was the area? She said, Tanzania and Kenya.
Okay.
I said, okay. So I said, what about your family? She said, they live in Xi'an. I said, you have kids here? I said, I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. So this lady was a pharmaceutical manager covering 2 countries in Africa. I said, how often do you see them? I see them for months, 1 week a month I go back.
Okay.
I said, what about the rest of the time? She said, my husband takes care.
Awesome.
Right? So what I thought that was amazing then was, I looked at China's growth and I looked at India's growth, apart from all the other factors. The fact there is that in China it is not taboo for a woman to work. Women are expected and driven as much as men to work. Here, we educate our women, then say you stay at home.
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Many times.
Maybe that's one of the reasons among many that hold us back.
Yes.
what's the point? I don't really believe that, no, your job is to stay at home. No. If any parent's job, and if neither parent is available, you find hired help to do that. There's nothing sacred that only a mother has to look after her child.
Right.
So that's the one point I
Right.
made.
And maybe
Yeah.
actually
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very
Women
valid
love
point. I actually had a question, maybe I should skip. The question was like, does the gender matter in balancing your life as an entrepreneur and of course being able to lead the good life? I mean, have we surpassed the gender thing?
I'm a guy. I have the wrong chromosome. It means we are inferior to all of you. We are
No,
dogs.
but
all-
you are a hands-on dad. I mean, I'm sure you do spend
Yeah,
your-
but come on, I mean, there's nothing I do compared to what the mums of my kids do. And
Okay.
they both work full time,
Okay,
right?
okay.
The mums of my kids, I don't,
Okay.
which is why I'm able to spend time with them,
Right,
right?
right.
So they're super women. I'm just an average man. Right? So
Hema, what about you? Being a woman, a mom, is it different if you were a dad and not a mom?
how could she answer
I
that?
think
You ask me if I
no,
was a mom.
okay, let me get really horrible here. So sometimes you have to get so involved with your work that I literally feel like a guy. I'm
Okay.
not joking, and I don't mean that in any
What does it
bad
feel
sense.
like?
So
I want to know.
I have to expect. I'll tell you what.
She'll private message that to you.
Yeah.
I come home at 7, and all I want to do is eat my dinner.
And have your single malt whiskey.
No, that doesn't matter to me. So it's not like I need to come home and I have to deal with 100 things. I expect it to be there when I come home.
Okay.
So I've tailor-made my life in such a way that the first thing I deal with when I come home is I don't see that there are socks strewn all over the place or bags strewn all over the place. And if I'm really hungry and if I'm really cranky and I've had a
That's
really
it.
long, tough day,
They're casualties.
I'll call my daughter in advance and I'll tell her, okay, listen, I've not had a really good day. Is it possible for you to heat up my dinner before I get there?
Okay.
So when she hears that I've driven into the apartment, she will actually very sweetly, it's not like she'll do this every day of her life.
Okay.
But there are days that she'll do it. So I can be this and I can be that. And being a single mom, I have to be mom and dad to my kids.
Right.
I don't know where the mom boundary ends and where the dad boundary,
Right.
ends. So I have no clue of all that.
Okay.
I just know that I need to be the most fun and best parent that I
Alright.
can be. But that does mean that I need to be bad and mean and
Right.
the good and the fun all at the same time. And I think I've done a
Very
good
good.
job of it so far.
All right.
And recently, interestingly, there was this 2 weeks ago when my daughter came back from school and she had this really bad report in maths.
Okay.
And I lost it with her. I got really angry with her. And so we tried to figure out a solution how she was going to get better at it. She's going to be the arty one. She's not going to take maths for the
Okay.
rest of her
That's
life.
the
I
solution?
really don't care. No, she's already decided about it. But all I care about is that she now,
At least she knows
gets
what-
past maths in school.
Correct.
And that very day, she had to write this essay in English. Do women make better parents than
Oh,
men?
boy.
You're not going to believe this. Class 12, and she had to write this essay. And we had this huge fight just the previous night. Even in the morning, we had this fight. And she had exactly 15 minutes to write this essay before she left for school. And she wrote the essay, and she went to the bathroom to get ready. And before she got ready, I went and took pictures of the essay which
So
she
you
had written
could read
because I
later.
had no time to read it.
Sneaky mom.
I'm totally sneaky.
I'm sure you hack into her Facebook. I'm sure you hack into her WhatsApp. Her boyfriends are dead.
So
Helicopter.
listen to this.
Sneaky
And
mom.
in that, she had written, my mom is the most entrepreneurial, witty and responsible person I know.
Oh, she
And
knew you were going to read it.
That was like biggest compliment I could ever get.
Okay.
There were lots of mistakes in that, grammatical errors and blah blah. I didn't breathe a word to her. She went and handed over the essay. 2 weeks later, we had this conversation. I said, Deepthi, if you're planning to, make a career in English and art, you really need to get better at your essay writing. She said, what do you mean? I said, that essay you wrote that day. She said, what do you know about that? I said, it had some grammatical errors.
Okay.
She said, why didn't you point it out to me before I went to school? I said, because I didn't read it before you went to school. Then how did you read it? You know why? Because I got 25 on 30 in that essay, because I raved all about you in that. And maybe you didn't deserve it because now I know you were sneaking on my essay.
So this is a